Hi, I'm Kristen Taylor. I'm a physical therapist with Midwest Orthopedics at Rush Physical Therapy. In this video, we're going to show you some exercises that should be initiated 1 week after surgery. These can continue to be performed for several weeks after therapy, and your physical therapist will give you other additional activities to work through. The first one we're going to go over is our clamshell. So in the setup position, you'll be laying on your side with your surgical hip on top. When you're setting this up, we want to be almost in a straight line between our shoulder, our hip, and our knee. So Chris here is a little bit too far forward with his knees, so I'm going to bring him back a little bit more into that straight position. We want to feel like our hips are stacked one on top of each other. Then we're going to draw the belly button in, and this is our setup position, our start position. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to just open that top knee up while keeping the feet close together, and then bring the leg back down. It's important to remember that while doing this exercise, we don't want to roll back at all. We want to keep those hips stacked forward, and we want to feel this exercise on the back side. If you're feeling it all on the front side, then your setup is not correct. So you'll want to just go through and reset up, make sure you're nearly in a straight line, make sure that your hips are stacked and your belly button is drawn in. This exercise, you're going to do 1 to 2 sets of 10, and we're going to do this one 2 to 3 times a day, every day, starting at week 1. The next exercise we're going to go over is a bridge position. We're going to lay onto our back, and our knees are going to start in a bent position. We want our feet and our knees to remain hips width apart throughout the entire exercise. The next thing we're going to do is push through both heels. You're going to scoop the tailbone and lift your butt up off the table, squeeze the buns at the top, and then slowly return back down. As we're doing this, we're thinking about being nice and engaged in our core and our glutes, being slow and controlled with this movement. We're also going to do 2 sets of 10 of this exercise, starting 1 week after surgery, and this is going to be performed 2 to 3 times a day. This last exercise we're going to go through is called a cat-cow. In this position, what we're going to do is we're going to come into a position on our hands and knees. We want our knees and our hips to be in a straight line, and we want our wrists and our shoulders to be stacked on top of each other. We also want to make sure that our knees stay hips width apart and that our ankles are neutral. So we don't want to cross the ankles, and we want them to be nice and relaxed. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to tuck our tailbone under and arch the back up. You should get a good stretch through the back of the back here. This helps for some of that low back pain relief. And then you're going to drop your belly button down towards the floor. In this position, right after surgery, you may feel a little pinch in the groin as you're dropping your belly button down towards the floor. You can keep going up and down as we're going. It's important when your belly button is dropping down towards the floor that you want to go to the pinch but not through the pinch. So we want to feel a little something, but we don't want to push through that pain and aggravate the hip. This exercise is really important and is an exercise that we will continue throughout the duration of your recovery from surgery because it's good mobilization of the hip. It helps with pain relief, and it helps the back and the hip as well. For this exercise, we're going to do this 2 sets of 10 or right for 20 repetitions. We're going to do this one 2 to 3 times a day, and we're starting this again at 1 week post-operative.